The purpose of Samson's birth was to fulfill God's plan and use him as a deliverer of the Israelites from the oppression of the Philistines. In Judges chapter 13 verse 1, as usual, the Israelites did evil in the eyes of God, and he consequently gave them into the hands of the Philistines. An angel appeared to Samson's mother, who was barren, and informed her that she would conceive and bear a son. Samson's father was Manoah, and his mother was unnamed. Before his birth, Samson was dedicated to God as a Nazirite. This meant that he had to follow certain rules, including abstaining from drinking alcohol, not cutting his hair, and avoiding contact with corpses. Samson desired to marry a Philistine woman from Timnah. His parents objected because the Philistines were uncircumcised and they did not love God. Judges chapter 14 verse 3. Samson insisted on marrying her because she was, according to him, right in his eyes. Samson visited Timnah and proposed to her while accompanied by his parents. A young lion attacked him when they got close to Timnah's vineyards. The Spirit of the Lord descended upon him forcefully, causing him to tear the animal apart with his bare hands. Yet he kept what he had done a secret from his parents. When it occurred, they were out of each other's line of sight. The Philistine woman accepted the proposal of marriage. When he came back to marry her after some time, he turned to view the lion's carcass, which contained honey and a swarm of bees. After scraping it out of his palms, he continued to eat. He gave some to his parents when he got there, and they consumed it. But he kept the fact that he got the honey from the lion's carcass a secret from them. He made a feast, as the young men were accustomed to doing. When the people saw him, they brought 30 companions to be with him. Samson expressed the wish to put a riddle on them. He further explained that should they be able to tell him the meaning within the 7 days of the feast, he would give them 30 linens and festal garments. But should they fail to explain it to him, it is they who should give him the same present. They agreed, and he said to them. Judges chapter 14 verse 14. Something to eat came out of the strength of the eater. They could not explain the riddle for 3 days. On the 4th day, they influenced his bride to sweet-talk him into explaining the riddle to her, or they would burn her father's house. So Samson's wife to be wept before him, saying, if he loved her, he could have explained it to her. She wept before him and nagged him. On the 7th day, he told her. She then explained the riddle to her people. They then gave him the meaning that honey is sweet and the lion is strong. After realizing that his wife had betrayed him, he was outraged. Samson left the wedding and returned home. Later, he sought revenge by capturing and taking away the lives of 30 Filipinos to fulfill a bet he made regarding his riddle. Samson's wife was given to his best man, which further angered him. He retaliated by setting their fields on fire using foxes, causing significant damage. The Philistines retaliated by invading Israelite territory. The people of Judah agreed to turn Samson over to them, and he allowed them to bind him. Samson broke his bonds and took away 1,000 Philistines using the jawbone of a donkey. Samson later fell in love with another Philistine woman, Delilah, who conspired with the Philistine leaders to discover the secret of his strength. 3 times, Samson lied to her about the source of his strength, but eventually, he revealed the truth, his uncut hair. Delilah cut Samson's hair while he was sleeping, causing him to lose his strength. The Philistines captured him, blinded him, and imprisoned him in Gaza. On a festive occasion, they brought him out to mock him, but God renewed his strength. Samson pushed down the pillars of the temple of their god Dagon, taking his life and thousands of Philistines. The Israelites were led by Samson for 20 years in the days of the Philistines. The book of Judges portrays Samson as a flawed character who often follows his impulses rather than God's will. Samson was blessed with immense physical strength, but he often used it for personal gain and revenge. This ultimately led to his downfall. It is a caution to always remember the importance of using our strengths responsibly and considering the consequences of our actions. Samson struggled with self-discipline, particularly when it came to his relationships with women. His inability to control his desires and emotions led to his vulnerability and downfall. This reminds us of the importance of self-discipline in all aspects of life, including our relationships and decision-making. Samson's pride and arrogance are evident throughout the story. He underestimated his enemies and believed he was invincible because of his strength. This arrogance blinded him to the risks and led to his capture and eventual death. The story teaches us the danger of pride and the importance of humility and self-awareness. Despite his mistakes, Samson was given a chance to redeem himself in his final act. He called upon God for strength one last time and was able to bring down the Philistine temple, taking away his own life and that of his enemies. This shows us that even when we make mistakes, there is always an opportunity for redemption and to make a positive impact.